Okay, so here was my issue. I live in a house where somebody, in their infinite wisdom, decided to construct a bathroom on a concrete slab and put no heat into it. So one can only imagine what this room gets like when it goes down to, I don't know, 5 below, 10 below. So, and this is, our laundry room as well. So I had to fix my dryer, and by the way, don't judge me on my dryer because this puppy here, it's I Frankensteined it from like three different dryers. All were broke, so I just kind of monkeyed around with it one day, and I got this one here to finally work. And she's been going for like 2 years, and believe me, we put a lot of work into it. It has to dry almost constantly. So it still gets very hot. It's got a good heat and core in it. But the last time I had to monkey around with it, I left the dryer vent on. And by the way, I should express that this is an electric dryer. What I'm going to tell you here, do not try on a gas dryer. So I left the hosing off the back, and there it is right there. I left that off the back of the dryer. So because I wanted to make sure that the dryer was working, and I didn't want to have to go over and take all that off again because it's just a pain. So while I was going through the motions of drying stuff, this room got really warm, like comfortably warm. But then, I dawned on me because it's a small room. There's a door, so you keep the door shut. You got your laundry and such in here. And it dawned on me that not only was it warm, it was humid. Because the way a dryer works is it's as it's tumbling, it is throwing your clothes over that heating element, the forced air in there. It's also blowing all that humid, cool air out the back of it, eventually out of your house. So I live in a house, like probably most everybody else, where it is not only cold in the house during the wintertime, but it is bone dry. And the way it works is when you have dry air and you heat it up to, let's say, your 70 degree, whatever your comfort zone is, it evaporates a lot faster and it cools down a lot faster. If you have your room or your house at 70 degrees with 55 or so percent humidity, the humidity in the air holds the heat for longer and better. So you're going to use a lot less furnace work to maintain that 70 degrees, and it will feel warmer. Yeah, I live in Pittsburgh. It's 90 degrees here. It's hot. But you go down to Louisiana on that, and it's 90 degrees with, 60, 70% humidity, and it's just unbearable because the humidity enhances the heat. Okay, so I'm going to try this exact same thing here, and I looked on the internet, and alas, for $30 or so, you can go out and buy this little contraption that looks no bigger than a milk crate, and you put it down and you have to empty it, a lot more often, or it evaporates a lot more often, or a lot faster. So it's constant work. So what I've done here is I'm creating my own right here, as you can see. This is the contraption that I'm going to say this again. Don't do this setup for a gas dryer. Blow your gas dryer out of your house. This is an electric dryer. There's no combustion in this dryer. It just passes heat or passes air over a hot heating element to grab the heat. A gas dryer, there is actual combustion going on. You're burning fuel. So you have carbon monoxide that is being produced from your dryer. That you do not want blowing back into your house. You need that to exit. So this whole experiment will not work on a gas dryer. So all I've done, and this is simple, these 4-inch, 8-foot dryer vents, aluminum dryer vents, you can pick up for $5 or so. Walmart, Home Depot, they all got them. Regular 5-gallon bucket. Got it again, Walmart. And I think it was like, I don't know, $2. And then on the inside, you see, I have a piece of coupling pipe that I had here at home. So this just unscrews right there on both ends. So up in here and down in here. So you unscrew it, you drill a hole, just literally go around it with a pen. You can probably still see my pen. And you cut a hole out. I use a standard utility knife. You can use that. You can use a kitchen knife if you have a pair of scissors. Whatever you have, it's thin plastic. I just found that a utility knife works a lot easier and better. And so you put that down. You screw this part so that it will not come back up. Okay, and you got a nice tight seal in there. Then you put your vent pipe down and just get a banding clamp right there and tighten it down so it doesn't go anywhere. Down in here, you're going to fill this with water, about half, maybe 3/4 of the way full, whatever. It doesn't make much of a difference. And then all these holes, if you should not happen to have lost your chuck key on your drill, as I did, then a simple inch or inch and a quarter boring bit will do just fine. If, however, you're like me and you've discovered in the process of this that you have no idea where you put your chuck key, again, I just cut out simple 1/2 inch holes all the way around the top. Because the one thing you don't want to do on this dryer is slow down the air. So if you would just put this in here and put 1 or 2 on there, it's going to back up your airflow, which is going to back it up all the way into your dryer, which is going to make your dryer take 3 times longer to dry your clothes. To make sure that your clothes are speedy when they're drying, you want good airflow. So that's what these are all the way around here. So what's going to happen is this is going to come out of the back of the dryer. It's going to come up in here. It's going to go down, and then it's going to go down, hit the water. The lint and whatnot is going to get stuck in the water. And then the rest of the air is going to come back out here. That heated air is going to pick up the moisture in the water on top of the moisture that it's got from your clothes. And it's going to give you a nice, humid environment to which you hold the heat longer. Which is exactly what I want, because it is a bear trying to heat this room. You see, I've had to go and put plastic on the windows. I installed this heater right here. I finally figured out that I can get some air in through the furnace, and it's still not enough because there's just no insulation. So one project at a time. So I've made this whole thing. It cost, I don't know, probably about $8 if you got all the $10 if you got everything, if you had to buy it all. So I'm going to put this whole thing together, and then I'm going to show you what it looks like. Okay. So I'm done. As you can see, I have clamped it securely on the back of the dryer, which you want to make sure that you do. And then I just have it for right now up here, and I have put some water, about half full-ish. And I'm just going to go ahead and put this lid back on, like so. Make sure it's secure. And then I'm going to push the dryer back in. Let's real quick. Okay, so this is it right here. Now you can obviously play with it and add your own pieces to it or whatever. And because you've got 8 feet of this, it's a good idea to put this out in the room somewhere. For right now, tons of purposes, I'm just going to go ahead and leave it right here where it's at. And I want to make sure everything works. So I'm going to put that on there. And put all my settings on. And there you go. It's a drying, and you cannot really tell, because obviously you cannot see the airflow. So let's do it this way. I'm gonna take a dryer sheet real quick, and I'm gonna show you how good the airflow is here. So I mean, it's coming out of there pretty well. So that's out of all these holes. Now as this starts to heat up, and it starts to put all that warm water in, or that warm air into this water, it's going to pick up that humidity, and it's going to push it out into the room. This is going to do a couple things. It's going to add some more heat into your room, and it's also going to add a lot of humidity into your room. So hopefully it works for you. If you've got any ideas on how to make it better, just let me know. All right, have a good day.